Hey guys, back again with another review, this time of 2004's Puppet Master vs Demonic Toys. Sadly, I do not own the DVD. Well, I say sadly, but thank God. Um, so I watched basically a stream of it, and it stars Corey Feldman as Robert Talon, Vanessa Angel as Erika Sharp, Danielle Keaton as Alex Talon, Silva Sivadava as Sergeant Jessica Russell, Nikolai Sotrov as Julianne, and Mayor, and all sorts of people. That's right, all sorts of twisted people. And where's the female lead? I'm trying to find her name quickly. Is it Claudia? Wow. Oh, Erika Sharp, that's it. And Bao, played by Anton Falk. Sorry about that. Obviously, because I haven't got the film kind of in my head, I can't read from that. What can I say about this movie before I try and decipher what the film was about? 2 words. It sucks. The Sci-Fi Channel took over the rights and decided to do a Demonic Toys versus Puppet Master movie, or the title is Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys. But you actually see more of the Demonic Toys than you do the Puppet Master puppets. And it's got Corey Feldman in it, which means it's going to be rubbish. Okay. So at the beginning, Robert Talon is trying to figure out his great-great-grandfather's formula for the puppets, because he's got the diary. Now, I think this film is meant to be a standalone film, because there's so much in it that's not told. So him and his daughter, Alex Talon, basically are trying to figure out the formula. Now, one of the problems in this movie is Danielle Keaton, who plays Alexandra Talon, but she's called Alex in the movie, and Corey Feldman look around the same age. Corey Feldman's got his hair dyed or a wig on with glasses, and he sounds like bloody Edgar Frog. Oh, I'm in another terrible movie, and I'm going to ham it up and ruin it for everybody because I can't act for crap. So he basically figures out the solution within 5 minutes of the film. Yep, it's so hard he figures it out. So he brings them back. Now, the puppets. You only get Jester, 6-shooter, Blade, and Pinhead. And they might not they might as well not have even bothered. Pinhead looks like he's a grandfather with serious lipstick and makeup on. Yeah. 6-shooter has this kind of, I don't know how to say it, it's kind of like retarded. It's going to sound bad. I don't mean retarded in a bad way. I mean retarded in the fact that his face is just not him. You know? Blade's knife and hook look plastic and look like they're made out of tin foil. And Jester looks terrible. He looks like, as I read up, people say he looks like Matthew Broderick. He does. But they look like cheap, crappy replicas that you'd buy from somebody on eBay who did them themselves. It's just terrible. So they come back to life, and when they move, they sound like a robot. If anybody remembers what RoboCop sounded like, no, not the remake, the original RoboCop, the better one. And he goes like this. That's what they sound like. And you're like, no, no, no. And they've got no emotion or movement at all. You know, I miss the original Puppet Masters where Blade's eyes go. And I miss when Leech Woman's mouth would go, and you had all this animation in their face. Not anymore. So basically, they figure out and they bring them back, and it turns out they're being watched by the evil Erika Sharp. Yep, she's got a bug in there. She's got this full HD camera in this tiny little bug, but picks up the whole room, but moves around on the floor. Now I don't know how the puppets never saw it. I don't know how Robert Talon never saw it, or his daughter. So she sees it and she sends a couple of goons around there to basically get in and take the puppets and the solution or whatever it is. Well, the puppets decide to fight back and the place gets on fire. Corey Feldman comes running down. Oh, what's going on here? Gets bashed in the face, knocked out. His daughter comes in because they've run off. And basically, she gets the fire extinguisher out, shoots the flame, shoots the puppets because it brings them back to life. And then Robert Tallulah, Corey Feldman doesn't wake up, so she shoots him with it, and he goes, "What?" You're a bit like, is this meant to be a comedy? And then you look at the credits, and it says comedy. And to be honest with you, the comedy's terrible in this movie. It's just bad. So basically, then they're trying to figure out what the people wanted and blah blah this and who did it, and they find out that they find the bug. Yeah, and it turns out they went there for an interview or something, and as he left, Erica Sharp gave him the ladybug bug thing, and you're like, okay, and he looks at it in the office, and you're like, couldn't you see the camera? Couldn't you tell? So then basically he finds it and they go, oh look, and they track it and it turns out the serial number is for Sharp Enterprises or what it's called, Sharp Industries or whatever it's called. And to be honest, I didn't care that much because the movie was terrible. So what does Erica do? She decides to put another bug in, right? But you know what? The smartest thing she did was nothing. Because they sent a small one, they dropped a small one as the exact same bug looking thing there. Why didn't they change it a little bit so it didn't look like the same thing? But you never see that they find that one. So anyway, he's trying to track it down. They basically need his blood to bring all the toys to life on Christmas to kill everybody because they want out because Erika Sharp wants it to be a Christmas massacre where all the kids and families get killed. And you're like, wow, this is great. Then basically you meet Bale, who's basically supposed to be like he's supposed to be this big horrible demon, and he comes and basically wants souls and stuff, and the blood of a virgin awakes him and all this stuff, and you're like, okay, and he starts saying all this weird stuff about you'll get your things because all those souls will be perfect for me and all this, and you're like, He later comes back dressed up as Santa Claus or Father Christmas, basically going ho ho ho, and you're like, how am I supposed to take this guy seriously? He's supposed to be a demon, and he's going ho ho ho, and you're like, yeah. So basically, Tallulah decides to go to his grandmother's house or to Alex's grandmother or grandfather's house, and it turns out to be a mansion. Yes, it turns out to be like a mansion place, which always amazes me with American films, and always end up going to mansions. And basically, there's a scene in it where he decides he's going to change the puppets. Yep. He's going to commit puppet master blasphemy. That's right. 6-shooter guns, no more. No more 6-shooter. You know, it's called 6-shooter for a reason. Yeah, he shoots 6 guns, but he's using a 6-shooter gun. And they change it to laser guns. They then change Jester and put a mace in his left hand, or his right hand, so he can go, ugh, and you're like, Blade ends up with 2 longer weapons on him, like a bigger hook and a bigger knife. And you're like, what's the point in that? Pinhead ends up with big metal arms. And you're like, I preferred it when you saw his hand ripping around corners and stuff. I preferred that in the original movies. I don't want to see horrible metal arms. So basically, Tallulah ends up going he goes, before they leave, he goes, I need to do a wee. And they come and get Alex and they kidnap her. And he just comes out like after she screamed, help me, Papa. And he comes out and he goes, what happened? Alex, where are you? And you're like, well, you were going to go there. These people are after you. Where do you think she is? 10 seconds to think about that. My daughter, I went to the toilet, my daughter vanished. I heard screaming and I ran out a few seconds later. No, I think she probably just went outside to have a smoke. Yeah. Bad script. So basically, before all this, you meet him. He goes to this kind of convention thing about where police give Christmas awards to businesses. That's right, a Christmas award to a business. Erica Sharp's business, because she has to get an award before she does her evil acts. And basically, Jessica Russell follows him through the whole movie. This is the police officer. She basically goes there when the crime happens. She basically kind of fancies him. He fancies her. She's terrible at acting. Can't stand her. And basically, she's supposed to be interested in Robert Talone. You're just like, ugh. So basically, he ends up in Erica Sharp's office. And basically, she wants him to impregnate her because they need the bloodline of the Taloons, and they need to, she needs to have his baby. And you're like, okay. I don't think he's up to it. He is about 60 by the looks of him. And when I say 60, I don't mean 60 in a bad way. I mean 60 like, ooh, you know what I mean? Then you see him running about. And you're like, wow. So he goes, no, never. That'd be me. I'm sure. Why not? The movie's ending in 20 minutes. You're not going to get away with it, so why not? You know what I mean? So then basically there's this whole shootout and all this, and apparently the movie's supposed to be the puppet master toys going to be demonic toys, but it doesn't happen till like the last 10 minutes, and it's terrible. I can't even remember the demonic toy modes. There was one called Jack in a Box or something, and basically he gets attacked and he gets tied up, and then he comes back. Oopsie doopsie daisy waisy, the baby basically farts in Pinhead's face and then kills him because he's like, ugh. You know, and you're like, eh? And the bear just gets sliced by blade, and that's it. And you're like, I'm glad I haven't watched any of the demonic toy movies first, because I'd be highly, highly upset like I was with the Puppet Master once. Am I going to watch the demonic toy movies now? Yes, because I'm sure they're better. Well, especially One and Doll Man, anyway. So, basically, the Demon Bale comes back dressed up as Father Christmas, Santa Claus, and he's like, ho, 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 baby. As Alex is in the machine where the Virgin was, who got splattered within seconds. Remember this? When the Virgin was put in the machine, she got killed within like a minute. Alex is in it, getting squashed slowly but surely for about 4 minutes. And she's got a useless dad who's like, oh, where is she? And there's all these puppets running around, and you're like, why ain't any of them trying to save her? So the machine gets basically stopped, and Erica goes, I can do it manually. So she's going, do, 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 do. And then all of a sudden, Bale grabs hold of her and goes, you fouled me. We'll talk about this in hell, or whatever. And he takes her off, and you're like, what? What? What type of ending is that? And then the best part of the ending is where Robert Talone, Alex, and Jessica Russell are outside. And she goes, you can come round mine for Christmas dinner. And Robert Talone says, good, because we didn't have any plans. And she goes, on one condition. And he goes, what's that? And she goes, well, I can see the puppets anytime I want. And he goes, sure. And you're like, what a fantastic ending this was. The greatest Puppet Master movie of all time. Not. You know what? I'm so disappointed. I expected action. I expected violence. There was no violence. Well, there is, but there's not that much in it. The best part is when Oopsie Doopsie Daisy jumps on a woman's cleavage. He goes, oh, feed me, feed me. That's the best part of the whole movie. You know, because I could relate to that character. I could relate to Oopsie Doopsie at that moment. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just watched the movie the whole time. I was like, how much longer is left? And it was like 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in. I looked at what felt like an hour later, and it said 48 minutes left, and I was like, no, no. So let's go on the acting. Okay, I will leave Corey Feldman to last. So Silva Savannah, who's played Sergeant Jessica Russell. In every scene she's in, she's got a uniform on, even when she goes to visit her family to give them presents off when she's off duty. She's in a police outfit. I don't think you see on anything else for the whole movie. I'd love to have seen her go on a date with Robert alone and be in the police officer uniform. She was terrible. I couldn't stand her. Bad acting. Maybe it was the bad script, but it's bad acting. Danielle Keaton played Alex, was probably the best part of the movie. She had these beautiful plaits in her hair, and she was just good to look at, to be honest. And she brought some, you know, energy to the film. Vanessa Angel, who played Erika Sharp, basically hammed the whole thing up as the main villain. There's a bit where I think it's Julian, a henchman, bodyguard, whatever he is. He goes to her, when you were a kid, your dad wanted to give you everything. And when you wanted the toys to come alive, he gave up his soul so that you could have that. And he regretted it for the rest of his life. And you're like this. So you're like, but she's very hammy up, and to be honest with you, I want her to get her breasts out just for the fun of it. And then you've got, oh yeah, and the guy who plays Bao, Anton Falk. He might as well come out my Bao because that's what he was like. He hammed it up. I mean, the guy was great as a comedy version. It was like watching a bad demon out of Angel trying to become evil. That's what it was like. Oh, Angel, how do I become evil? Well, you've got to show your mouth first. You'll be like, and this one's like this. Ho, ho, ho. Then we come to Corey Bloody Feldman. Robert Talone, Corey Feldman. Why did they cast Corey Feldman as a 60-year-old man when, or 40, 50, 60, whatever he was supposed to be, who knows? One, he can't act. Two, he sucks. Three, he just bloody gets on my nerves. He was doing the voice of Edgar Frog for the whole movie. This is what he should have said in the movie, ready? Oh, my name's Corey Feldman, and I make really bad movies. I star in them and I ruin them. If I hadn't been in this movie, it probably would have worked a little bit more than it did. But the fact for me, a terrible actor who kills vampires on the weekend as Edgar Frog, I have to be now a Talone. I have to ruin the history of Andre Talone's legacy by being his great-great-grandson. Oh, yeah. And I was like this. I was like, no, Corey Feldman's, most of the movie's on him. And he can't act. The script's terrible. He's really, really rubbish. I think, you know, and it's just like the whole movie was dreadful. And the thing is, Full Moon Pictures didn't even make it. That's right, Full Moon Pictures didn't make it. The Sci-Fi Channel did. Now, don't get me wrong, the Sci-Fi Channel do a lot of terrible movies. If you watch their movies they make, their original movies, you probably find a couple good ones in all of it. And I was like, oh, so Sci-Fi made this. They're going to make it epic because they care about this type of thing. Nope. And then we've got films now like Sharknado 2, and all this other stuff, because this came out in 2004. And I'm sitting there going, all I can say is thank God the Puppet Master universe is finished for now. Because this movie, I'm glad I watched this one last. Because if I'd have watched that before I watched the others, I probably would have quit. Because of how bad it is. So my final thoughts of the movie is it's a 1.0 out of 5. 1.0. I'll tell you why it's 1.0. because of Danielle Keaton and because of the guy who played Belle the Demon. Because even though I was saying about it, the demon sucks, at least he was going ho ho ho, it's Christmas time. Oh, at the end they sing jingle bells, jingle all the way. Well, I've got a song for you. Jingle bells, this movie bloody sucks. I'm glad it's not my Christmas present because I throw it in the toilet. Hey, I'd shit on it, burn it, break it all the way. Throw it in the dirty trash because it's nothing but shit. I hate it. But it's a 1.0. So, final thoughts. Corey Feldman sucks. The director, Ted Nicolau, sucks. The puppets sucked. Pinhead looked like an old man with makeup on. What the hell was that about? He didn't even have a big body either. You know, I could go on about this for ages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my proper final thoughts right now. The movie's not worth watching. Stay with the original Puppet Master movies. Don't watch Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys because it's nothing like you expect it to be. It's just plain dreadful. It's not worth the time, not worth the effort. And you know what? It's not worth the hour and 27 minutes that it is. Go and watch something decent like Prom Night or something. Because that sucks. Or if you want to watch something to do with puppets or dolls, go and watch Dolls. Child's Play. Dolly Dearest. Pinocchio's Revenge. Whatever. It's just terrible. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. And let me know what you thought of the movie if you do watch it. If you haven't watched it and you're watching this review, don't you bloody watch it because you'll be regretting it like I am. Alright? And that's me talking from the past to the present now to you. So, thanks for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe because as always I enjoy doing these reviews and I need the feedback. I need to know what you like and what you don't like, basically, you know, about the films. And plus, if you've got any suggestions, let me know, and I'll look for them and I'll review them as well. So thanks, guys, for watching. Take care and have a lovely day.